Right, guys. I think I closed the room off a little bit too. Just automatically sending now. Great. Let's turn a ding dong bell off. I know. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to turn the scanner off in a decent time. Right, I'll turn the bell off. Turn the bell off. There we go. Right, well, we had some news, economic news at 1:30 is, let's have a quick look at the 1:30, which is PCE was 2.9, expected 2.7. GDP is the most important one, really. 4.4 expected to be 3. Actual at 1.4, flipping egg. So low GDP would be positive for the dollar, which means the indices will spike down, and indeed they have, which will send gold running up. We've had 3 good trades on gold already, which is nice. And there's another gold setting up just now. Do I want to have a look at the other spending? Not really. Personal consumption, yeah, just a little bit more than expected. The big one really is GDP on the way down with weakness in the dollar. Right, so it's weakness in the dollar. We've got a closing gap. ATR today is, what's ATR today? ATR today, boom, 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 88 pips away from the Dow. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's more than enough. I think we're putting an alert on that. So we're looking for the closing gap on that. Let's have a look at the other screens. Right. Boom, 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 boom. Right. We can just put an alert on this, I think. We'll have a look at the other things. I think Andy, you put a signal in, didn't you, again for gold as spotted. So I'll just save this view. I've just been putting the high and low points in the DAX. Let's have a look at gold. Well, the bots are all on. We've had a few good trades on gold today. Well, 3 big trades on gold today. Last one finished at 13.51. And this is this a 5-minute bar that you're talking about, Andy? Or your mic's not on?
Yeah. I'm back on now, Steve. Yeah, it's a 15 minute bar pushed up above the range.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
So I've got an order sitting on the top of it, basically. And it's a
Yeah,
fractal as well.
right, yeah. There we go, yeah, absolutely. I've got one set myself at 5049. So yeah, good. It's a shame the bots are on. They're a pain in the ass. They cloud everything up, don't they? But the bots are on again, Pac-Man and Scalper, and they're going for it again. Both of them are stopped at entry, so that's good. Everything's protected, and they're in again. So the the gold bots again have been smashing the market from 340 this morning. Yeah, they've been doing the job, so that's good. And we just took one out at the full target here. Gold spot 50. Actually, I had that trade on at the 5045 target, so it just popped up here and won. I think that was something that we're doing using the scanners, I think. So yeah, right. So we're just waiting for gold to pop. Let's go and have a look at the DAX. We did mention in the session earlier that the DAX, and if it popped up above the daily pivot at lunchtime, this is the expiry. It came down, popped back up, and I put a really healthy stop. I didn't need to have that stop, as large a stop in that as we had, but we're in the DAX now and looking for that to go up. Now, if you've just come into the room and not spotted this, we do have a fractal breakout here. So the fractal breakout here, if we could see a 1-to-1, 45 pips up into C-ball, that would be a nice trade. There's a 45. We can put that in now just to show you. 45 and 45. And that would be a pop-up of this fractal breakout this afternoon to here. We can drop that into 25, 1, 2, 2. Just put that to 25, 2, 2, 2. There we go. And we've got that in. 5 minutes to the open. We're going to go and look at the S&P in a minute. Just into the FTSE. A really nice expiry trade that we won. What the heck is that? 0.01 of a penny. Right, okay. So I was buying a Camarilla breakout long, and I thought I'd put 1% in, and it's done zero. I won't say what I normally do because we're streaming. Good old. Let's call it the quirky software. If you want to try and put 0.01 on directly as an order, it won't do it. But for some reason, it likes to do it on its own. So we've got a fractal break here off this daily highs for the FTSE to run off, which would be quite nice. We could, if you haven't done that already, we can put an alert. We can put an alert in there and onto the daily highs. And if we get that squeeze up, then we'll have a little bit of that in the afternoon. And let's look at this S&P. Right, so S&P. Obviously, the news we've had this afternoon, it's weakness for the dollar. The S&P is trading under the 4-hour 200 EMA up here. Let's get rid of that. It's an old one. And back down into the lowly daily ranges of yesterday. So what we'd really like to do is to see if we can pop up to the close. So I've got the 200 EMA market is negative, and we'd be looking at probably selling C-ball if the market's going to go up today into the 1 hour. So we've got a 1 hour negative range start. It doesn't even start to get positive until 68, 65. So we could probably do a rise trade here. The ATR on the S&P 500 is 12 or 24 for a 30% rise. Let's just measure this. So we could do a rise trade on this. There's a close. Oops. Get rid of that. There is the close. And the ATR 24 pips away would be a really nice pop-up if we could get 24 pips. And I want a rise trade on that. So I think We've got 2 minutes to go. I think 20, which is 20 is not quite 30% ATR, but that gives us a bit of breathing room. So let's do 20 and 20. And we'll set an order for, why isn't it doing 20? 20 and 20. If you can beat me to it, guys, put 20 in. And we're going to rise up into the close here. We're looking for that, the market to pop up and close that gap. And that will be a nice trade. And we really, I'm thinking 20 and 20, we don't really need to have a stop that big. We could have an ATR stop of 12. So yeah, let's put an ATR stop of 12 to give us more leverage. And we'll put that in the same 80, 68, 40, 1.5. There we go, and take the other one out. So the reason I'm putting a smaller stop in here is because if it breaks a daily low, then there's probably nothing else left. It's probably just going to break a daily low on the open and go. If it breaks the daily low, then what we're going to do is we're going to walk this price down, but not any lower than a Camarilla breakout short. The market is negative. We're looking for the gap to be closed. Got the daily pivot here, daily lows here, so there's no extreme gap. We're inside that. We've got a closing gap here, and we're looking for the market to pop up. Very similar, different scenario, but this morning we traded the DAX, and it was a 3-second trade, which was pretty good. Let's see if we can get popped up into this and triggered in. US 500 has now triggered long, so that's nice. And we want to see the daily low held. If the daily low is not held and it pops off down, then we just need to stand off and wait. And what I'll do if the market does come all the way down, further down here, then what I'll be looking for is for the market to do a rise trade back to close this gap. But if on the first 15 minutes, the market's negative and then breaks a 15-minute bar negative, then I think we've just got to follow this down with the news. But what we're looking at here is looking at people buying the lows and Camarilla breakout short. Now, if that doesn't work, that's fine. We will wait on this one and see what happens, because if we do get a 15-minute bar breaking off and going down, then we've got the BRN to go for. Big number here. 6,800 is an infamous number. Used to be on the FTSE quite a few years ago, but 6,800 is going to be a reasonable holding pattern there. Markets risk off, so we should be seeing the FTSE. Should be seeing gold having a nice heyday. So ideally, the perfect storm really would be to get a 15-minute bar break down and targeting further down. Our gold order on a break up has just been triggered. So we're in the S&P going long, and we're in FTSE, not the FTSE, gold going long as well. I don't think the Friday afternoon isn't very popular with the new guys, is it? All the old hardened criminals are all lined up today in the room.
Yeah, it's us oldies.
Yeah, you got in this room between us like at least 15 years of membership between you all. Yeah, right, okay. So we just want this market to build now. The buys on the bottom of the Camarilla breakout short. Will this be sustained? Well, we don't know. Let's see the first 15 minutes of action. I'll just save that. We've been trying to get into crude today as well, and that's been proving difficult. We've been in gold for 4 times today and won. The robots have been in over 4 times and won. Robots cannot lose. DAX has just been filled as well. So we've been, just to give you a larger picture, just turn this off a minute. So some of the key areas that we were targeting today were 503.6 from a spike low, the market moving low down. And we traded this up this morning, which was nice. A breakout of this level on the 13th of February would give us an opportunity to break. So long as it's a fractal break, that's fine. And we've got that fractal break. I'm going to turn this off. The momentum in the 4-hour EMA, as you can see 4 hours ago, I marked that, and it's a little trick, not a trick I do, but I like to watch and track on 4-hour intervals. Are we continually getting the momentum? We are trading above the 9 EMA, as you can see on gold. Gold's quite nice to trade. It's going to be one of our cores moving into next week. I think it already is anyway. We've got it on the report. And you can see we're tracking up again, continuing to track. Just keep moving that up. And this is a fractal breakout. This is a fractal that Andy mentioned. Turn the fracker on. There's a 1-hour fractal lower, but we like to trade on a 15-minute. The 15-minute fractals, a breakout of that high, a confirmation that the market is testing that breakout. So that's quite nice. Just going to have a look at that alert triggered come out. So I want to see the alerts. So what triggered? US tech shooting up. What else has triggered? Natural gas. We don't need to look at that. We looked at that this morning, and that looks like it. Obviously, it's going to gold's triggered. Gold's triggered again. I'm just looking, taking all these FTSE and DAX. So we need to have a look at the FTSE and DAX. We are long in the S&P. We are long on gold. Oh wait, I'll look at the FTSE now, and then we'll look at the DAX. FTSE. Hi Rory, thank you, man. So that was what oh, we've got a screen freeze. So this was a fractal breakout here. Any of you guys in the room take the fractal breakout?
Yeah, I'm in it, Steve.
Yeah, 27 and 20, around about 27 and 27 on the FTSE. Not going to ignore that. For some reason, we're running a little bit slow at this end. I don't know why. I'm absolutely paranoid with my 0 point, the market trading. So I've kind of missed this. I'm hoping the market will pop back. Sometimes the market pops back down, gives you what you want. We're already in it. So if it isn't going to give me my trade, it's just going to cash out on the 16.16 there, which, as you know, is the cam trade. So that 16.16 just won on the cam trade. And now we want this just to pop us down here. Click me in. I'm just being a bit pedantic. We've had quite a few trades today and worked well. And if I don't get what I want, I'm not going to trade it. And that's the breakout that we wanted. So there we are. Oh, Don's in the room as well. Good. You're not going to lose that tag now. Right.
Yeah, I was trying to log in on the other one.
Sorry, say again.
I was trying to log in on the morning one. I couldn't get in.
Oh, right. Yeah. What I'm trying to do is separate the links for the American sessions and for the UK sessions. So there's our DAX trade. And if you remember this morning, explanation I give this morning on why the DAX is going to be good after expiry, the third Friday of the month. And it's had its expiry, like the FTSE expiry. And the FTSE expiry, what that take? Just over 3 minutes, but in and out, nice 1% this morning, between 10 past 10 and 10:15. That was a nice trade. So we're buying the pivot on the DAX, and what we're going to do on the first trade that we had in, this was alerted off on. Now I don't know whether if I put the scanner up, whether it will still show the chart, because that room is still open, but nothing's feeding to it because I've turned the feed off while we're doing the live trading here. Oh, your camera's on again, B. I should have left this look down. Is that you holding your head in shame?
Yeah, I done nothing but clear up after horses, dogs, puppies, people picking up puppies, and I've got a straw delivery coming in a minute, so I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
But I'm well up today, and I'm kind of in the thought that says, chuck it in, mate, while you're up.
Well, yeah. We were talking about this yesterday, but I did say we would stream in the afternoon for the guys wanting to do the American session. But to be honest, we don't need to do it. We've won such a lot today.
Yeah,
Especially on
I'm a
gold.
bit miffed because I'd like to be on this afternoon because it looks as though it might be a good afternoon, but I just think quit while you're ahead.
Well, there's no harm in walking away with profit. It never does any harm walking away with profit at all.
No.
You know.
I'm glad that I haven't continued actually, because what I was going to do, or what I was waiting for, not going to do, but waiting for the move, I really thought the S&P would go down, and it hasn't, has it?
Well, it's had the problem is we've had a few down days on the S&P, but it did adversely react to the news, and it's really bound. It's hit C-ball.
And C-ball this morning.
Well, exactly. And I wanted a good, perfect setup for a short, but it hasn't come. So
no, it was pre-cash this morning. It doesn't really count.
No.
Futures market. So I just go back onto this if you were one of the ones looking at this. So yeah, I was looking at this bounce off C-boss and then trying to, like you said, the perfect storm would be to short C-ball today.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
It looks like we've front run that close. That's a pin in the ass. Sorry.
Yeah,
I shouldn't
it
say
is.
that we are short. We are.
That's why I didn't do it, because I thought it just feels short today. Well, I shouldn't say feel, should I? I thought short today.
It is very short today.
And I thought, God, will we make it to the close? So I thought, well, sit out because you're up. Sit out.
Well, that's not a bad thing, because if you look at the close at the moment is 861, and we went to 860. It's front run the close, so it's done it. Now, what I should have done really is come out at 12 pips to make a full 1% trade. Right. And if it does, wang, out. I've pressed the button and nothing's happening. Good old RG.
So annoying. It happens to me. It's so annoying.
Right, okay. So I got 60 there, the close, boom. It's closed.
Yeah.
So the close is done. We've made over 1% there, but it is a little bit annoying. The thing is, and I've been pulled to one side today doing too many things at once. Some of the guys in the room have said, you're doing too many trades at once and we can't follow them. But with the gap, doing the gappers, it's really important that you can, as I mentioned, the DAX today has got to be a focus, because we said we're going to make around about 3%. And we have the call options are, what are the call options? And you can get the call options for 70. We bought for 37. They're now over 70. Load of money there. We got the short. We got the gap close this morning. We've gone up a couple more trades on the DAX, and it's nailing it. And the DAX is just shooting up like we said it would. But we've got to do the American session, so we've got to do at least one of the American markets. And, you know, for me, if we can get this market coming all the way up, the issue that I've got, just before you have to run out the room, Bridget, is as soon as, you know, the room's full of Mickey Longs. They just look for every excuse to buy the regardless of market conditions. There are certain guys that just can't short the US 500, and that's probably because of the 50-year statistics are that 52% of the time the US market goes up.
Yeah,
and the stats favor longs all the time. He's going to lose, but the stats favor the longs all the time. So anyone looking at a dip will try and buy it. And that's part of the mentality of when it comes down to CBOS, it should be a Camarella breakout short breakaway. The Mickey Longs will support us. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. And I've just said in an email to a guy, like, and we mentioned this yesterday, core competency in our morning, we're going to do gold, the DAX, and the FTSE. Between those three, we could get between 1% and 3% just out of those in the morning.
Yeah. And
then for the guys that are more experienced, that can probably use all our scanners. And I've updated the scanner now. Alan Swissy, I call him Alan Swissy because we've got quite a lot of Alans in. Alan from Switzerland had mentioned about, wouldn't it be a good idea? When's the priority for the scanner? So this runs, just for people who might not be aware, this runs on YouTube every single day, all day, and it tells you where all the trades are for 15-minute bar setups. Here, 15-minute bar setups. This is on the UK, and or 15-minute fractal breakout. So, and then it gives you the 1 hour of where all the CBOS is.
Massive candle on the NASDAQ.
Yeah, let's just keep on the subject for the moment.
Right.
It's all right, but I've been told off for jumping around too much. So I'm trying not to jump around too much. The thing is, like yourself, Clive, there's lots of old hands in the room that are very experienced traders and can do lots of things at once. But some of the new guys are just throwing their hands up in the air and saying, I've had enough of this, I can't follow this. And getting frustrated with it. So I'm going to try and slow it down a little bit. But what I was going to say on here is this scanner runs on YouTube every single day. So if you want to look at live feeds that will tell you where the trades are, if you've got your own strategies, or there's a free 15-minute bar guide that you can download. The links will be on just about every video that I've got. You'll be able to pick that up and have a look, and it'll give you a starter for 10 on how to do the 15-minute bar. It won't show you everything you need to know, but it will put you in the right track. So there's the scanner, and there's the timestamps now. When things start stamping up, as new arrivals happen on the scan list. So we've got 14 opportunities at the moment, and it will just let you know exactly what's hot, what's not, and what to trade. So I'll nip over to the NASDAQ now because Clive mentioned the NASDAQ. I think the NASDAQ, whoa, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Now, don't take any notice of these pivots because I've not updated those just yet. So if you remember, let's go out to we're 2 minutes up now. So we're 2 minutes up. We are just using the EMAs, and we're just running this absolute hi Pep. Keep on trucking. Thanks for joining us. We are trading under the market's trading down, and again the tech is trading down. Gone to the 1 hour, and it's just nibbling right on the nose here. Now, if you remember what we were saying yesterday, was it yesterday morning or the day before yesterday, about the NAS and its 15-minute bar with the trend. Today, we don't really have a trend on to use the 15-minute bar. So there's a 15-minute bar. So what we would normally do on this, if with a clear trend and this is right on the trend, what we would do normally is at 15 minutes, you can measure the top and the bottom. We take a break of the 15-minute bar, whether it's a red bar or a green bar, and we trade a break of the 15-minute bar in the same direction as the trend. And since we haven't got a clear trend, that's something that you'd walk away from today. The other thing, if you're trading against the trend and the markets are wanting to push further short, so let's just have a look at, I'll tell you what we'll do, because I can't explain a lot of it without some of these pivots in the play. So we did the daily pivots yesterday, didn't we? Just check that the daily pivot for the NASDAQ on the high was 25.57. Yeah, so I'm going to put yesterday's highs in there. So these are cash pivots. If you use pro real time for pivots, throw them in a bin because they're wrong. IG have recalculated them wrong. They calculate them on 24-hour markets because they make the market, and that's not correct. It is wrong. Do not use IG pivots. They do not work. You've got to use real cash pivots. What I mean by that is where the market's been actually moving in the cash open between 8 o'clock and 4:30. Or if you look at the American market between the opening bell and close, because they just don't work. They're incorrect. And if you are using the pivots like institutions and banks do, then you have to have it on the nail. It has to be correct. But I guess IG are providing them for retail traders, and most people really don't have a Scooby-Doo on what a pivot is or how to use a pivot. And that's not detracting from people on YouTube watching it. It's just a fact that people haven't been taught. If no one shows you, or you don't, you're never going to, someone needs to show you, or everyone's got to learn from somebody. So everyone needs to know that you need to calculate the cash pivots. And heads up, we use classic cash pivots, and one Camarella are 4 pivots for what we actually do in our day trading. And this is something that I've written that calculates the correct numbers for you precisely, with all the cam pivots in. And that's on, where is it? Have I got the daily edge up? Daily edge, this is the guide, 15-minute bar, zoom, daily edge. That's in this document here every day. So what I'm looking at a different screen. Oh, that's the 19th, not the 20th. So in a big update, this is
it should be 24,976.
So there we are. There. So this gives you all the numbers in there. Someone's been heckling, so I presume I've typed in the wrong number of her. Well, I typed in the wrong number. 28,890. 24,690.86. And cheers. Typed in the wrong number. Thank you. 24,979. So just for the people on YouTube, as you can see, this is not about me just shouting out to everyone what everything is. We've got experienced traders in there, and when I get it wrong, they pull me up on it.
It's got a pivot and the close right together.
Say that again.
You got the close and the pivot right together.
I have got them together.
Yeah, that's how I'm just stating the fact that they're right together.
Oh, right. I just thought you meant I've typed it in again. I thought I've just checked it. It's right. But it's quite interesting that when you get the pivot, the pivot and the close. The interesting point here, actually, Don or Clive, is when you get the pivot and the close together, it just shows the market's not really, hasn't really moved too much whatsoever from the mean reversion yesterday. So that when the market closed yesterday, it's closed on the mean reversion where the daily pivot is. So it's quite a balancing act there, isn't it?
And is that's not quite a good thing that you've got them together, so you don't have the pivot above the close, so you've got a risk of pivot risk.
Yes, exactly. It's, if we are trading, you know, exactly what Ija just mentioned, if we've got everything close together, then we haven't got an angle on the pivots where institutions are moving money from one pivot to the next or using it as trades. When it's together, it's like, you may as well, to some degree, just have that switched off and do what retail traders normally do and just guess. It's an open space. But normally, yeah, when we have the pivot and the close, daily pivot and the close that are spread, it gives us a really good angle on how to trade this.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's like, will it go up or will it go down? Well, do you know what? We're not really interested at all in trading this, because on the 1 hour, it's going to, this level's testing the 200 EMA for day traders. But the issue we've got here, of course, is that not only is the daily high up here where the 200 EMA is, we've got a camera breakout long pivot, which is a reversal pivot. So ideally, you know, so the call for this as a trader, if we drop into the detail a little bit more. So us as traders, we've got the I'll just mark it in so we can see. I'm marking the 200 EMA on the 1 hour, so we'll put that there. Then we drop into the detail. So the issue we've got, knowing that it's pivots, and we know cash markets are traded on pivots, that's just the way they trade, which is they trade very differently to FX and commodities.
Yeah.
So here, you're in a quandrum here, because as a day trader, your guiding principles are 200 EMA on the 4 hour. It'd be nice if the 1 hour is the same, but we've got Camarilla breakout long here. But when the market's negative, that acts as a ceiling. But people will see we're trading over the 200 EMA. So we have what I would call, at the moment, going long here, this would be a Clint Eastwood trade. You know, if you're feeling lucky, punk, you can press a button, but we don't trade on feeling lucky. We need signals to set up. If we get a breakaway on C-ball, and we could do a tentative trip, but that's not a super high probability trade. The super high probability trade would have been if the 1 hour EMA is very close to Camarilla breakout long. That would turn this into a screaming short today. And but it hasn't. So it hasn't done anything. Let's just go and look at the S&P 500. I look at gold's up and then relaxing back again. Germany's up. Germany's up quite well as well. So we've got the S&P. We've hit the close. The S&P 200 EMA is up here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour here. Ideally, where's my drawing kit? It's time for my pen. Ideally, we'll see this market come up to here, and then what we'll do is put a screaming short in that on the S&P. But it's all the Mickey Longs have helped bring us up to the close. This is a market inefficiency. So we trade the market inefficiency every single day when there is the opportunity to do so. So we had that C-boss bounce, and we were looking for all the Mickey Longs to kind of help us. People will be looking at this from a bit of a helicopter view. You can see this area was a pretty key area. So it's going to get anywhere quite a bit of support, even though the market was negative. You could argue the point, dollar's weak, dollar comes down, all hail the dollar. It's cheaper for foreign investors to buy into the American markets with a weak dollar. So therefore, market goes up. Very similar this morning with the DAX in the opposite direction. But yeah, we've done the trade, we've done the money. It comes down to something that Bridget was saying as well. When you have so many wins in the day, do you just keep on trading, or do you keep the money in your pocket and try and resist the opportunity to trade more and get even more? More. Can I have more, sir? At the moment, the only thing I'll do that with really is the DAX, for all the reasons I've just explained before and this morning, and gold. So if I was to not have a trading room and not be streaming on YouTube, I'd have two charts up. One would be the DAX and one would be gold. And I would just tear a new one in both of them today. So kind of leave that alone unless it comes higher up. And we won't be in the live stream then. However, the screener, I'll get it right, get the words right in a minute. The screener will be running. So after we finish here, the screen will be up again, running. So for guys that aren't in the room, or even if you are in a room, go on the scanner. People have a jibber jabber on there of what's going on, and people help each other to trade. And some of the guys there have made quite a bit of money today. They have all week. It's only been running for 4 days, but it's been doing really, really well. And go on there, and you might see the setups. And later on in the day, the screener will run through till about 9 o'clock this evening. And then I'll switch it off, and it will help the people who trade throughout the day and help the guys over in the US. Right, go and have a look at that DAX. It's not moving as quick as I thought it would this afternoon.
Alert trigger.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Get the alert triggered off. So we're over 1% up on the bottom one here. And we're getting to 0.75% up here. The target will be Camarilla breakout long area today. And yeah, let's see if we can make another couple of percent on top of this again today. So I did say 3%. Just for your benefit, guys, the call option that we have, I don't know whether it'll come up on here. The DAX call, we bought for 37.74 now. Do you know what? There we are. Boom. There's our 1%. Come on, let's get C-ball and smack C-ball. That's 1.5% of that trade there. If that just pops up there, that's 3.5%. And then take your call option off. I'm going to cash mine out now, guys. It's at 84 now. I'm going to cash my call out at 84. 84. Wow. It's just gone up to 160. Just get out of that, bang. We've jumped past the order. Don't know why. Let's see if IG can give us 178. No, it hasn't. It's popped up on that news. And bingo. There's a nice trade. The extended trade I forecast this morning was that, which was the gap for the 18th of February. So very nice indeed. And we've not only done C-ball, we did that gap. The market has really popped up on the third Friday of the month. The DAX does gap up, the DAX does run up. So it's quite nice, actually. It's recorded every day that we do this, but it's nice recording this on YouTube as well. So people, it's not just hot air that comes out all the time. Things are actually moving quite nicely. So DAX, we've made 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, over 4% on DAX. And that probably worked because Bridget left the room. Now, if you
probably did, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bridget. If you watch this recording afterwards, cheers, B. While you're feeding the horses. I wonder if she actually put the trade on. I don't know. Just for the guys in YouTube, it's Mrs. B, as we call her. She's a hardened criminal trader of many years, but the DAX is a nemesis. We all have them, and but there we go. FTSE. Oh, we're working a wee bit slow. Well, FTSE smashed full targets as well, hasn't it? History. Yeah, so yeah, gold smashed full. FTSE smashed full target as well. I don't know what we've made today. I really don't know. I'd have to add it up. Probably about somewhere between 6 and 7% bank today, and all these big spikes on American news, which are really good, because we now just have to bag in the cash. We are patient. We sit in our hands. We wait for a retrace, and then we join the party again. That's what we do. So with these spikes up, that will inevitably send gold down. That's what will happen. It'll be suddenly rah, good news, risk on, boom, everyone goes long, and then it'll relax back when people really understand, oh, well, the market isn't really as good as we think it is. But what that will do, it'll send gold down. So it'll give us the opportunity to get back in on gold. I should check these things before I say it, shouldn't I? That's the way it works. It's the way it should work. If it hasn't worked that way, it's wrong. Yeah, there we are. Big spike down. So big spike down.
I thought you always said that price was always right.
Yeah, the price is always right.
Yeah.
But actually, it did what I said it was going to do. So it's doubly right this time. It's doubly right. Now, there is a technique I would do here, because this is just a knee-jerk reaction. So what I would do on here is the bots all come out at stop to entry, which is nice, and leave your Pac-Man on, leave your scalper on. And I am going to do a rise trade here, guys. People on YouTube, just bear with me. Pardon?
Off the 200.
Well, if it goes below 200, then I will. But what I'm going to do is try and put something in at the moment with a stop under here. I'm just looking. We need 25 pip stop, guys. 25 pip stop, and we're going to do a rise trade, or we're going to walk the dog, whichever comes first. And just put the open target at the moment. I'm looking for the market. So I'm looking for a stop under the swing low. And what I'm doing is the market, right, is walking this down a bit more. 27 for the moment, 5027. So what we're doing, the market is having a reaction to news. It will get back into a steady state. Oh, what's going on here? This is going, come on, IG, speed up. So we're not interested in chasing trades and following trades. What we're interested in is, well, from the guys in the room, what we've been talking about gold this morning, silver this morning. We know what's going to happen. So, right, we're going to do what Don Quixote has mentioned. We're now going to go on the 200 EMA, and we're going to sit it on the 200 EMA around about 18. Will do the job. But we're going to then sit in our hands, and we're going to be, wow, what's happened here? It's gone very slowly. Let's just have a look on the stop that we'd want for a fast knee-jerk reaction would be a 1 hour, 5-day ATR. So we want to have our stops. So our stops need to be around about 32. In other words, we're looking at an impulsive move. The average true range on 1 hour impulsive moves around about 32 at this very moment. So if we get tagged in, we don't want an impulsive move to then knock us out. So take this off and recalculate on the 33 pip stop. So it's 32 impulsive moves, so recalculate on 33. And we'll put our trade into here. 18, 5018.
Yeah, spread's going from 2 to 3 at the moment.
It's crazy. That's because of these the uncertainty in the markets,
Yeah.
brokers do like to widen the spreads up to a little bit more money. I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't, because I do know some of the guys from IG watch this. And I don't mean to be disparaging, but they are a business, and they're not in the business for. What's that scalper that keeps coming up, talking up here? They're not in the business for charity, they're in the business to make money. But sometimes they do take the Michael. So let's just go back up to where the market was on that breakout. Call it 50, 60. And all we're doing is playing the price action. In other words, we're looking at the market, the way the market habitually works. That's why we're going to concentrate in the mornings and three markets in the morning. So my traders get to understand the habits of the market and the way the market works. And once you understand the habits of the markets, you've got an absolute edge in the market. And the habits really are the result of the human habits, all the people that are trading. And you get to know what people do, how institutions trade these, how impulsive moves are reversed. So when you get to see these things for many, many years, it kind of gets drilled in. It becomes second nature. And we are trading personalities. So we're in a FTSE now, not the FTSE, we're in gold. And then what we'd do another trade on gold. But to add to this might not have settled down yet. People might have thrown the tools out the pram and gone home. And if the one thing that does happen, especially on gold, if the gold doesn't rise up in the way people want it to and the first trade doesn't work, they just throw the dummy out the pram. And one thing is for absolute certain, markets go down when people get disillusioned. Because when people get disillusioned, they sell the long positions, which releases the money into the market on the short side. And the bears then get interested. People are giving up, and the bears get interested and they jump on, and then suddenly it turns very, very bearish. But if we get enough people behind this, and just look at the UK, everything's pulling back. So the DAX would be, again, a good trade today, and the DAX will pull back later in the afternoon. It's only 3:10. So if we can get this market to really pull back, then that would be nice. You can see it hasn't really. It's turned the frackers off. You see a big impulsive move in the market drop. We're all the way back down to here, back onto the Camera breakout long. And now we've got a 5-minute bar building here. So you could continue to do 5-minute frackers and go up to the elusive closing gap. There's no closing gap now. The gap has actually been closed, and there was a really high target there, which is tongue-in-cheek. See how far we could go, and it's hit that as well. Or the other thing you can do is stop flipping trading, keep the money in the pocket, let the robots do the rest of the work, and leave them to it and enjoy yourself on a Friday afternoon. So I'm going to leave the DAX alone. Unless the DAX comes hurtling down towards C-ball again, below C-ball, and then we can do a breakout trade. I'm going to leave the FTSE alone because we've done a bit of killing out the FTSE as well. Don't need to do that again, really. I don't mean really as being hesitant. It's we've done well. We don't need to do any more, really. BTC, that's done well. It's going short again. What else do we need to do? We don't need to do anything, really. Nice that we've done it all live. The times are now 3:10. Do we need to do any more? We've been on an hour. We've done the gold setups. We've done S&P. That one, we've done the DAX, that one, we've done the FTSE, that one. I think what I'll do is we'll finish for the day, keep the money in our pocket, and I'll turn the streaming scanner on. And if people are interested in continuing to trade for the day, follow the scanner, follow the yellow brick road, and see if you can get back in. All these big pullbacks will all be, you will get a reversal on the pullback, and then you can start your steady state trading again. Is there anyone maybe on YouTube got any questions at all before I go? There's no one got any questions at all. Yeah, so that's it really. We 3 lots of trades in excess of 3% within 1 hour. Very nice. And at that, I'm going to leave it, guys, and I'll say bye to the guys in the room. I'm going to put the scanner back on. I've updated the scanners, and I'll leave it on for everybody. If you want to go back, you'll see the icon there, and you'll be able to sit and get the trades off if you wish. And there's quite a bit of chit chat going on in the room. So if you're uncertain about certain trades, there's always people in there that certainly do help each other out. Right, so I'm going. So see you guys, and I'll be back up on Monday morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And what we are going to do, I'll put a note in the room, but we're going to focus on the DAX, the FTSE and gold, our key competencies that we are going to trade heavily in the morning, and we'll have the scanner in for people a bit more interested. But when you're trading, when I'm jibber-jabbering in the mornings, if you want to look at something, ask me, and I'll do it by exception. We'll concentrate on the core, get our 1 to 3% every day, and then we'll, by exception, go and hit the other trades as well. So we keep it tight and people can learn. And hopefully I can tell you all the little hints and tips and what's going on. Anyone outside of the room that are in YouTube and watching, that if you're interested in joining the group, send me an email and let's have a chat. There's support at harkoltd.com, or just send a note in the comments, and we'll answer, and we'll have a look and have a chat, and you never know. It might be something that's a fit for both of us to be part of the HARKO Day Trading group. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers,
See you later,
guys.
Steve.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Catch you Monday.